What are you waiting for? That can be said two different ways. One is a statement, what are you waiting for? And that's usually followed by, like, go get 'em, cowboy, or something like that, buckaroo. Okay, I grew up in Texas, maybe we only say that there. Or it can actually be a question. What are you waiting for? What is it that you are waiting for? This period of time in the Christian calendar is set aside for anticipation, for hope, for waiting, which is this deeply human thing that we do. These big brains of ours can sort of foresee the future. And sure, other species do prepare for winter, but we aren't sure if that's instinct or if they're actually, foreseeing the future and making plans. I remember when a veterinarian helped me decide when it was time to let my beloved dog go. She reminded me that my dog lives in the moment, and that if she's not able to do or enjoy the things that she loves, it's not like she's waiting for her child to graduate from high school. Like, she's not holding on for some foreseeable future, which people do, but animals don't. Humans have this ability to forecast into the future, which can be exciting, it can be anticipatory, it can be joyful, it can allow us time to prepare, to make plans, or, as we saw with the Wonder Box time, it can also just be anxiety-provoking. So when I was in seminary, I was in preaching class. I think it was my second semester of seminary. Our very first assignment was we were partnered with someone. We had to draw a name, someone in our class, and we had to do a pair sermon. So the two of us together had to preach a sermon for the school. And I was really into this song at the time by John Mayer. It's called Waiting on the World to Change. So here's a clip. All right, so that is clip number one. And man, I loved that song. I love John Mayer. I hope my parents are watching right now. They will remember my John Mayer era. But it can feel like that sometimes, like we're just waiting on the world to change, especially when you're young. It can feel that way. But, my friend was pretty depressed by that song option. And so my partner, my preaching partner, decided that we would pair it with this song by Ben Harper and Jack Johnson. It's called With My Own Two Hands. So this is the clip from that one. I can change the world with my own two hands. We juxtaposed that song with waiting on the world to change. This idea that we could, sometimes the change is out of our control, and sometimes it is ours to co-create, was the message of that sermon, which I'm really grateful was not recorded because it probably was not good. It was a long time ago. And I think about this a lot. I think about this waiting period of Advent and how it can feel just like that. It can just feel like a wait, or it can feel like an opportunity at co-creation. And so in the Christian Bible, there are 4 stories that talk about the life of Jesus. And there were many of these stories, but only 4 of them made it into the book we call the Bible. And they're all very different, and only 2 of the 4 have a story about Jesus' birth, which we call the Nativity. And those 2 stories are from Matthew's version of the story and Luke's version of the story, and they're very different from each other. And in Luke's version of the story, Mary is the star of the show. Now, in Matthew's version, Joseph is the star of the show, so it's interesting. But in Luke, Mary is told by an angel that she is going to have a baby. And she is surprised by that. And then she sings a song. And in the book, it's actually formatted in such a way that we know, the reader knows, it's a song. She's singing to God. And she says this: "My soul proclaims the greatness of the Lord. My spirit rejoices in God, my Savior. For God has looked with favor on me, his humble servant. From this day, all generations will call me blessed. The Almighty has done great things for me, and holy is his name. He has mercy on those who honor him in every generation. He has shown the strength of his arm. He has scattered the proud in their conceit. He has cast down the mighty from their thrones. He has lifted up the humble. He has filled the hungry with good things, and the rich he has sent away empty. He has come to the help of his servant Israel, for he has remembered his promise of mercy, the promise he made to our fathers, to Abraham and his children forever." Now, I don't know about you, but if you found out you were having a baby, that might not be my response. But Mary used that opportunity to remember who she believes God is and the things she believes that God would do for her people. Waiting for a baby is probably the hardest thing that I have ever done. I know so many people, including people in this room, who have experienced infertility, perinatal and infant loss, and foster and adoption loss in every form. This season in the Christian calendar is about a baby, a particular baby, but of course it is about all of us, each one of us who was at one point a baby. And that can bring up so many feelings for so many of us. If you have brought a child into your life through pregnancy, foster care, adoption, or another method, you know viscerally what this waiting feels like. It can be a roller coaster of emotions. Joy, excitement, and of course, fear and anxiety. I received news on Thursday that someone in our fellowship circle of care is also waiting for a baby, and she let me know that yes, I can share this joyful news with you. Allie Peters, our intern and then assistant minister from 2020 to 2022, is expecting a much-wanted baby with her husband Justin this March. It has been a long journey for them, and we rejoice with them. When my husband and I were first planning to expand our family, we knew that because of my health issues that I would not carry a pregnancy, and so we were blessedly spared from the cycles of hoping and often devastation that come with fertility treatments. But we adopted our children, and that waiting was the worst anxiety I have ever experienced. I think I'm sort of permanently scarred from the anxiety of that period. It was punctuated, of course, by moments of hope and expectation, but mostly just profound uncertainty, lack of control, and nervousness. In adoption, the waiting might end a year from now, and your entire life will change. Or it might end tomorrow. Even when we were matched with an expectant parent, we had to wait to find out if she would choose us, if she would change her mind. We would wait for the baby to be born. When I would share with others about this anxiety that I was feeling, I had many people say to me, even when you're pregnant, you don't really know when the baby's coming. Don't say that to people who are adopting. Note to self, it's very different. You kind of know when you're pregnant. And I didn't know. I didn't know if it would ever happen. And that was profoundly painful. In both cases of the children that we are blessed to call ours, we had very little warning, very little. No time to prepare. We didn't have their nursery painted or set up or any of that stuff. And you know what? It was still okay. But that is one of the advantages of knowing how long the waiting period is. You can prepare. And we were sort of not given that. Advent is a time of waiting. And there are many attempts in this season to sort of soften or celebrate that preparation. We put gifts under the tree, we open each day of an Advent calendar, we light the candles on the Advent wreath. These are a chance to savor the anticipation. When I was a kid, my parents would put the wrapped presents under the tree throughout the whole month of December, and the pile would just grow and grow, and family who lived out of state would mail the presents, and the pile under the tree would get bigger, and it was super exciting, like which ones are for me, and we would shake them. And I told my older son this the other day, and he said, "Were they trying to torture you?" So for some of us, we enjoy the waiting, and others don't. I don't put the wrap presents under our tree. That would not be fun for my kids. But this gift of foresight can sometimes be enjoyable, it can sometimes allow us preparation, but sometimes it can also devolve into anxiety. Anxiety can be a motivator. The job of anxiety is to protect us from what might happen in the future. It's to motivate us to make those preparations. But as we saw during the Wonder Box, it can sometimes be a trap. It can sometimes devolve into a cycle of fear that doesn't actually help anything. But the advantage of waiting is that it can allow us that time to prepare or to co-create the future with our own two hands, you might say. Mary was a co-creator with God. That's one of the miraculous parts of this story. God could have, in the story, just created a baby, but God worked with humanity to do it. And what did Mary say about being a co-creator? She said, "The Almighty has done great things for me, and holy is his name. He has scattered the proud in their conceit, and he has cast down the mighty from their thrones." This meme has been floating around the internet. Mary, watching churches everywhere, quote the Magnificat. Why is nobody casting down the mighty? I specifically requested it. I love that. Mary was saying, she was foretelling what her son might do, a child born in a manger that would challenge an empire. And what each of us has a role in doing. For each night a child is born is a holy night. The song says, what does the song say? Each night, for each child that's born, a morning star rises, right? There was a star in the sky when Jesus was born, but every night a child is born, there is a star. That is foretelling what we might become and what we might be able to do. That we can co-create the future that we want to see. And right now, it's easy to look to the future and feel like all we can do is wait. Like John Mayer said, to wait on the world to change. But this period of waiting can help us get ready. It can help us gear up for legal challenges, to protect pregnant people and trans people, to support our immigrant neighbors, or whatever else we might need to be ready for. And I assure you, your staff here at the fellowship and your leadership are getting ready for all of those things. This time of waiting allows us to prepare for whatever might be, and to use our own two hands in co-creating the future alongside the divine. What are you waiting for? Amen. And may it be so.